I haven't done a video for several weeks because I have been focusing so hard on just trying to work. My last video was about how I had put a cap on my brain to just try to kind of function as a normal person. That's definitely proven to be the correct perception. The cap I put on was the same fucking cap. I mean, I've got some new perspectives, some new perception, but ultimately, I put a lid on my brain to keep it contained, to start functioning like a normal person. Again, that was more capable of actually that was more capable of walking down the road without being alarmed by every sound, without getting a migraine from every stress, that sort of thing. But the consequence to that is that I can't have a deep thought without being like, whoa there, hey, we can't go there. We don't have time for that. Like, if we go there, then that means we have to take the cap off. If we decide to go into the perspectives of the universe, then we literally have to take off the hat. We have to take off this temporary, think of it less like a cap and think of it more like a construction cone. Like with one of those big signs on it that says like, don't go there. And so every time I get close to it, it's like a big warning sign. Like, hey, if you go here, you're gonna have to deal with some shit. Like, if you decide to step in this space, you are gonna be here for a while. And so if I get anywhere close to it, I have to say, whoa, don't go there. Step away. When I get close to thoughts that make me uncomfortable, I begin to talk really fast. I want to get the thought out as fast as I can because I'm worried I'll forget about it. I'm worried I'll get so off track that I won't know what comes next. I'll start to look away because I'll get worried that my next intuition will take me too far away from the last one that I had. Because my short-term memory is so out of whack. It's really frustrating. But then the speed with which I talk will actually lead me further away from the point I was trying to make. And so I'll intentionally slow myself down. Kind of makes me talk funny. And sometimes it bothers people. Or at least my perception is that it confuses them when I watch them react to how I talk. And then that leads me into what I really wanted to talk about right now, which is my perception. I'm sorry, not my perception. All right, so what I want to talk about very specifically today is this idea of what people think I can do because of what they see me as capable of, and what I know I can do and what I know I'm capable of, yet what I know the choices I know that I need to make in order to be able to function for a longer, like for a longevity period of time. So in previous videos, I've talked about a battery system for someone like me that's suffered many injuries, brain injuries, body injuries, at this point also abuse injuries from childhood. So I grew up basically having suffered mental injuries from my mother's abuse, forcing me to function without a loving caretaker, and that in the long run forces an adult with a hurting inner child to not have a fully functioning support system within themselves. So that's also kind of an injury, along with all the other things I've suffered. So I'm not playing for sympathy here. I'm just saying that adds into what I'm capable of on a day-to-day basis. So what I'm capable of today, if I needed to like move a log from on top of my child that fell there in the big one, the earthquake, I could do it. I could. I'm strong, you know, I am. I know that. I know what I am capable of. And I'm capable of a lot. I have a lot of friends that would come to me in a time of crisis and would look to me to be the leader, and I know that. But for that effort, I would require recovery time. I would require isolation in the weeks to come. And so if I were to pull that effort in the first days of a crisis, I would then need those days following for recovery. So I could not be that leader for a number of successive days and then continue to be that leader. So if you take that to like a job situation, if I need to function for 5 days, 3 days in a row, I can't pull that hardest day on the first day and then continue to pull that hardest day on the second and third day, and continue to be a fully capable and well-functioning employee on the following days. So when someone looks at me and says, I know what you're capable of, it's like, I know what I'm capable of too, but I can't necessarily always do what I am 100% capable of. My battery wears out very quickly and takes a long time to recharge. And I also have other people relying on me in the successive days, and then I continue to go to work. So my battery never fully recharges and just continues to discharge as I continue to use it. So then I rely on auxiliary power after the first battery is discharged, and then the second battery is discharged. And then if I only have so many days to recover on my, weekend, eventually, when does that battery run out? When does that system run out? And then when do I run out? And when do I break? And when do I recover? And then when do I start calling in sick? And then when do I become a less worthwhile employee? So there's this issue of perception. And so when someone tells me what they think I can do and the choices they have decided I can make, it throws me into a world of confusion because I want to accede to their expectation. I want to do what they think I'm capable of. And I will push myself. And I will hurt myself. And then my family will suffer. And ultimately I will suffer. Because the personality type I am and the person that I am, if at all possible, I will take on the suffering and will prevent anyone else from suffering the consequences of those decisions, because I have made those choices and those consequences are mine and should be no one else's. That's the order of life. But yeah, that's the ultimate point of this video. So these videos, as they come out, may be in short, less frequent order, and I do apologize for that. But as I try and work more, and as the wedding comes up, it's just gonna unfortunately take a back burner. That's what's been going on. I've been struggling a little bit. That's what life's been like with the cap on. Hopefully, work will get a little easier and this will resolve itself. Thanks for listening. Remember to ask yourself why you want to criticize. Questions are always better than criticisms. But if you feel you need to criticize, I can't censor you. I'm attempting to create a safe space. But again, thank you for listening. Listening is ultimately what helps the most.